Alright, it's a Wednesday night. I am in Petawawa. I am playing Brad, who's been busy and has missed out on some tournaments and such, but his schedule's cleared, so I'm heading home tonight. I had some work stuff to take care of up here. Pretty happy to go home early. Playing a game of No Retreat on this city, well, I guess country looking table with a couple of big chateaus and stuff. I'm playing my 82nd Airborne out of Market Garden deployment. I've got one platoon here. The other one is over on this side. I'm holding my 57 mil anti-tank guns in ambush with 3 bazookas. And then over on my tray, that leaves me with glider support 105s, guards for armor support, so 2 Fireflies and 2 Shermans, 1 aircraft with 5 dice, so I took limited air, and then I've got a machine gun platoon in reserve. Brad, why don't you take me through your list? What are you playing? What out of what book?
This is Panzer Lehr out of Atlantic Wall. 1 big half-track platoon in the center, ready to go down the road. Combat attached to Panzerschrecks and the company commanders with them. The smaller, quote-unquote, which is a normal-sized German platoon. Lehr platoon on the flank with the 2 centimeters. I don't know the 3 centimeters, but mine are AWOL. A 6-unit battery of Panzerwoofers, which again are a little bit of a hodgepodge to include a captured Katyusha.
Yeah, because we're missing 2 of those. So
the Pack 40 unit on the flank, ready to go in and cover the Panzer force as they go in.
Okay, so turn 1 pretty uneventful. Wrecking move, and then Brad's regular move. Pumas made their way to there. Tried the big dinner plate. Failed to range in on this platoon. Popped my ambush. Brought in the guns here. Conducted some fire down the road. Killed 2 half-tracks. And the passengers are about to dismount from the rest of them at the end of the turn. I was able to get the plane in. 1 tank only. After several checks of the template, so down to 4 dice. Brad's about to begin turn number 2. So end of turn 2. Brad managed to kill a couple standards with bombardment. I also lost 1 of my guns and 1 bazooka team.
I'm just accused on the north side.
But there's he did some shooting over here. Those guys are okay. Got a couple shots in on the Panzer IVs. Didn't manage to do much, even with the Fireflies. They're the only tanks that hit, so they failed firepower. So I just only bailed 2. Built 2 tanks. Aircraft came in on the far side, looking for Panzerwerfer targets. Couldn't get any. So this is the only platoon I got for reserves, and we're about to start turn 3. Alright, so it wasn't a very productive turn for me. It was for Brad. So Brad was able to concentrate fire on my airborne platoon. The command jumped around a bunch of times with mission tactics. Unfortunately, Brad had rolled really well. Out of the 5 hits, he killed 3 stands, needing 6s for machine gun firepower test. So it was pretty bad. I think I failed 6 out of 7 rolls or something.
Yeah,
it was ridiculous. Anyway, had some shots with this platoon here. Had to maneuver the Fireflies around so they can get shots at Brad's tanks. I only popped the 1 with the Firefly, so it effectively took the semi-indirect target that these guys had out. If you can see him all the way down the table right there. 105s came on, same thing. No targets to shoot at. Reading up on them too, because they're the airborne cut downs. They only have a 16-inch direct fire range, so that's really bad. AT gun fired 3 shots, got 1 hit, managed to bail this guy out over here. Brad's dismounted his infantry, had to move the 2 IC over to contest, had to move a bazooka over to contest. Just a bunch of shooting, didn't lose any stands. Yeah, so we dismounted his packed 40s. AA trucks have also moved up. And this is pretty much what the field looks like right now from this side and Brad's perspective. I can't remember if I pointed out if I lost a Firefly last turn or if was it that was the last turn of shooting, right? Firefly?
Yes.
Yeah. So Firefly's gone. Lost the gun to the Pumas. a note. Did we talk about because these were cut down? They don't have gun shields.
You talked about that they were cut down, but you didn't mention that they were
right. So no gun shields. Talked about maybe purchasing some, but you know what? I've got a platoon of 105s, not wasting the money and getting more. So whatever. Because it'll probably cost me $80 for no reason whatsoever. He did take some Pack 40 shots, but didn't get anything, I don't think.
Got the Bale to Sherman and got the Firefly.
Oh, that's what killed them. So your Panzer IVs that didn't hit anything.
Correct.
I just got trotted the LMGs, so 16 inches they couldn't shoot, but I've still got Bazooka contesting here. The 2 I see didn't last long in the woods. Brad shot him and assaulted him. He held his ground. He actually got hit with his carbine. Didn't kill a team, I don't believe.
No.
But the bazooka took a one shot at him as well and missed. 20 more shots of machine guns over here. I haven't lost any stands there yet, so they're holding their own against this every single turn. He's just outside the 4-inch range, so obviously assaulting him would be ridiculously silly. And we're on to the next turn. I've tried several times, actually, over here to range in. The only place where I can get 2 stands, try to mitigate and cut down some of this artillery fire I'm getting. Just to give you an idea, if you don't know the rules or don't see this template very much, that's the artillery template. It is massive.
It's a foot by foot.
Yeah, 12-inch by 12-inch, so it can cover quite a bit of, it covers quite a lot when it lands. Okay, so it's the end of the game on time. We're actually about 10 minutes over, but it's for funsies, and obviously I'm 2 hours away from home, so why not make the game longer than my actual drive back to my house? First things first, some shooting over here. Just took some. You took some Shrek shots, didn't you?
Yeah, I took all my Shrek shots and achieved nothing.
And you didn't manage to do anything. The Pumas finished off the guns in an assault. They did, however, stick around with a 5 for motivation, so good for the staff team and the IC. Those guys, they didn't really do anything because they're only on for basically 2 turns, but they can't shoot in the turn after which they moved because they doubled. Brad tried to assault over here. I did okay with defensive fire. I managed to destroy 2 half tracks. He attempted to motivate and ran.
It was the counterattack killed the
Oh,
half
that's
tracks.
right, yeah.
I rolled in, killed 4 stands with the half tracks.
Right.
And your counterattack destroyed those half tracks, and I chose to break off.
Right. Chose to break off at that point from that objective over there. Didn't want to lose any more guys. However, on this front, when this assault went off, these tanks were a little bit more in Brad's face, up like this. He managed to hit and destroy 1. I only killed 2 stands in defensive fire, but he chose to remove just regular infantry teams, obviously, so we could get the Panzer Shrek in on the action. The 2 guys that had like the top armor 0 couldn't get him, but the one over there in the center failed his armor save and he blew him up. And they decided to break off even after a reroll using the guard's unflappable rule, which allows me to reroll platoon morale checks. We looked it up for rerolls. So game on time. It looks like he destroyed 1 platoon, so I guess it's a 5-2 for me. And thanks very much. So if you did anything different, what do you think you would have done differently?
That's my first time running the half tracks in a long time. First time playing anything in a long time. And a half track list needs to be very aggressive. I sat that 1 platoon on the far objective to kind of keep them pinned there. Pretty well all game.
That was this one.
Yeah.
And you just dumped in. You didn't do very well with the machine gun shots.
No, but I think I kind of rubber banded probability with all the machine gun shots on the other objective.
Well, yeah, I think you got most of your shots in here, needing a lesser score. You rolled quite a few 6s over there, but not as many as you would think. Rolling 20 dice every single time.
Yeah.
I didn't do too bad in the beginning, and then somewhere in the middle, the saves started to disappear, and I started to lose stand after stand with a lot of 1s and 2s, but still managed to anyway hold off the attack. So he destroyed 1 platoon. The guns we said had already stuck around. Lost 2 tanks from that platoon there, so it wasn't enough to test for them. And yeah, overall was a good game. I'm glad we can get one in. Hopefully you enjoyed the game, and we'll see you next time.